I'm back. Sending out the link. Yeah, I swear this Mass Effect stream is cursed. So we're gonna have a 2.5 on this one. Welcome. Yeah, we lost connection. I'm actually sending out a tweet with the new link. Anyway, welcome back. So like with the last one, we're going to have a 2.5.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
Okay. Everything's set back up, so...
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked
But
down
everybody
every
needs,
scrap
so
and
I
shred
needed
of
to make sure everybody could see me
Eventually, some
hang up on the
patterns
council.
start to
That's of the
emerge. Patterns that
utmost
hint at truth.
importance. In
It
fact,
is
I'll subtitle this
difficult
Mass
to explain
Effect
to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my
2.5.
case.
I hang up on the
It is more
council.
A feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right.
So it's
and
gonna be-
eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
If the Protheans weren't the first, then who was?
I
Man,
don't know.
that just made me
There is
realize how
any
much I love the
evidence on
Leviathan
Protheans,
DLC.
Even less on those who came before them.
The
I
council
cannot
stopped the
prove my
stream.
theory,
Yeah.
but I know I am right.
They preemptively
The galaxy
disconnected
is
the
built on a
stream.
cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the
You know what? I am
technology
gonna
of those who
space
came
the
before
council.
them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
Who was the first space lobsters? Shepard. Space lobster. Shut up and I'll tell you now.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines. The Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
Saw it.
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No
But
wonder
man, the
Geth
Leviathan
attacked even
DLC
Prime.
is one
The
of
chance
the
to acquire a
best
working
parts of the
beacon,
series.
even a
It
badly
really
damaged
is.
one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
Okay, this isn't helping us find Saren or the conduit.
Of course, you are right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have
She's
any
jealous.
information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
So what good are you now?
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Welcome aboard.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Sure.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
You are free to act as you see fit, Commander. Our role is to offer guidance and advice.
It's up to you if you're smart enough to listen.
I don't need this.
Communications cut, Commander.
I love hanging up on the Council. It's what I live for. It gets better too if you do it in every one of their conversations. Let's go talk to the crew.
I prefer gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
Alright. Next we're gonna go talk to probably Caden, because I think he's the closest, then Liara. Ashley, Garrus, Rex, Tally. That's the order I'll do for now. Yeah. See you in a second.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like
The 49ers are about to be counseled. My God, that was a horrible half of the football. First half was rough. Sorry to hear that, Ozzy. They need to sweep the leg. Like Cobra Kai. Sweep the toe in particular.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. For the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were...
I'm glad you were able to find the link to the new one. I had to get this updated. We lost connection to the first one.
There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
At one point, Yumi and Fabian had more yards than the 49ers. Oof.
I heard all about that. How companies would arrange accidents to expose people to element 0.
There was never any proof of that. It's not what happened in my case, anyway. My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics. A little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they relied on...
How's it going over here? I hung up on the counsel. You missed it. It was amazing. And we got Liara. But more importantly, I hung up on the counsel.
Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to those mass effect fields. It was a sterile
So,
research platform.
in short, sounds like it's going a little bit better than your football game.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich, but she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same, but things never felt together.
Now, here's something I'm not sure if you guys notice. Cade Nolenko sounds the exact same, is the exact same voice actor as Karth Onassi.
No one knows.
Now you can't unhear it.
As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation.
The funny part is it's only 7-0 Packers. I'm starting to be like, Hawkeye, don't give me hope. Will, you still got half a football game to go.
They were damn quick on the scene.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What's it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Alright, that's Caden. Next, talk to Liara. Talk to pretty much everyone else on the ship.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
No, yeah.
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
Don't mention it.
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Me? I am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
Let's get lonely.
Sounds dangerous. And lonely.
Sometimes I would run afoul of indigenous life forms or stumble across a small band of mercenaries or privateers. But I was always careful. Until the Geth followed me to Artemis Tau. I never found myself in any situation my biotics could not handle. As for the solitude, well, that is one aspect that most appealed to me. Sometimes I just need to get away from other people.
You don't like other people?
I suppose it comes from being a matriarch's daughter. People expected me to follow in Benezia's footsteps. They wanted me to become a leader of our people. Matriarchs guide their followers into the future. They seek the truth of what is yet to come. Maybe that's why I became so interested in the secrets of the past. It sounds so foolish when I say it out loud. It sounds like I became an archaeologist simply to spite Benezia.
I bet that pissed her off.
No. When I told her, she simply said, "A daughter must rebel against her mother, Liara. It is part of the natural order." But there was more to it than that. I felt drawn to
Fabian's
the
lucky
past.
he's
The
not a
Protheans
sports
were these
fan. I
wondrous,
was born into this
mysterious
life,
figures.
molded by
I
it,
wanted to
lol.
know everything about them.
I
That is why I find you so fascinating.
I get it. My dad
You
is
were
one of the
marked
biggest
by the
baseball
beacon on Eden
fans
Prime.
you'll ever
You
meet.
were touched by working
He's
Prothean technology.
Cardinals fan, absolutely. Some of it rubbed off on me, but I'm not as big into sports as he is. I'll follow it, and I do have my preferred teams generally, but I'm not like him.
Sounds like you want to dissect me in the lab somewhere.
What? No, I did
Oh,
not mean
you know
to
what?
insinuate. I never meant
Here,
to
I go
offend
to
you,
this.
Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
I was born into this life, molded by it. Better?
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense? You must think I am a complete and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around other people. Please, just pretend this conversation never happened.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events.
Sports, the
Maybe
bane
she
of
thought
my
aligning herself with
existence.
Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years.
What if I try
but
to remove
know
that mask?
And this was
It'll
not
be
right.
very painful.
Something changed.
For you.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
I'm
We
not
were
sure
the
how
first
that's coming
species
through
to
on my
discover
mic.
the
I'm actually
Citadel.
might have
We
to
were
hear that.
instrumental in forming the council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole.
I was
Although
born
we
in the
seek to
darkness,
understand other
molded
species,
by it.
it seems
You,
few of them seek to
you
understand
merely
us.
adopted the
The
night.
galaxy is
I
filled
was
with
born in the
rumors and
darkness,
misinformation
molded
about
by
our
it.
people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning
Yeah,
for us. We
I can
still
do some
require
good
a partner to
impersonations.
reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of
Some
any
better than
species and
others.
any gender.
That's disgusting.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term.
We're getting close.
Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father...
I remember you can find her dad if you're eagle-eyed.
Another Asari.
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common. Not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained. Or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood. Though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face, it is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
How could anyone abandon their own child?
I cannot answer that. This is all speculation on my part. It is possible she wanted to be part of my life, but something happened to her before she had the chance. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
I should go.
Goodbye,
I should go.
Shepard.
Talk to the rest of the crew.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
He's not impressed that you're going after Saren?
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was young.
In other words, with the ass Ari, you don't need rubbers, like Kenshiro's wounds in the movie. Alright, I'm back. Welcome back, Fabian. You missed my Bane impersonation.
You were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea.
Oh, it might be quiet for a while playing It Takes Two with my daughter. I want to play that game.
No offense.
Typical.
Spoken like a true CSEC officer.
Yeah, It's a speech I've heard one too many times.
It's right, yeah. It won Game of the Year. I question it winning Game of the Year, but it still looks like a pretty damn good game. I liked A Way Out.
You're a quick learner, Garrus. We'll beat him at his own game. It's the only way to stop someone like him.
I'm right behind you, Commander.
We're gonna turn Garrus into a renegade. Game's back on, but I'll still keep the chat going.
Commander,
okay.
You have a minute to talk?
Not for a personal chat, of course.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens.
Great bonding experience and great for people that aren't hardcore gamers either.
Should they have full access to the ship?
Is Miss Thumb going to be playing it with you?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around.
Crazy Oz time. Crazy with a K.
Sensors, weapons.
Ha ha ha. You're out of line now. You don't trust
You
aliens?
don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
Standing up for ourselves doesn't mean standing alone.
I don't think we should turn down allies. I just think we shouldn't bet everything on them staying allies. As noble as the Council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
You've got a pessimistic view of the universe, Williams.
A pessimist is what an optimist calls a realist. Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
You sound like one of those Terra Firma party pamphlets, Chief.
Terra Firma is a pack of jackals. The founders had ideals. These days they just play off xenophobia and bigotry. I hope my reasons are more rational. My father, grandfather,
Might be somewhat buzzed on us as well. That was me at the beginning of the stream.
Swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth.
It's had time to work its way out. I might actually end up getting another cocktail here
It doesn't sound like you've worked with aliens before.
after I end it.
Sir. Mainly I've been groundside, part of the service.
Normally I only have one a night, but I'm feeling a
rotation in the
bit,
space station for training. Every Marine, a
it's a
rifleman,
good night to
every
have
rifleman,
something to
ZG
drink right
certified.
now. If you're legally of age. For people that'll watch this in the future.
That's odd. Your record is spotless and your technical scores are exemplary. You should be serving with the fleet.
Anyway, that's why I haven't served with many aliens, Commander.
You're lucky. I lost my family on Mindoir. Are you related to anyone I'd have heard of?
Couldn't say, Commander. I read about Mindoir. The Alliance screwed the pooch on that one. Should have had a bigger garrison. Is that why you're out here? To take the fight to the pirates?
No. The future of humanity is out here. There's so much we haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I still remember my first field exercise on Titan. When we hit mud, the reality hit me. I'm the first person who ever stood here. Then my drill instructor kicked me in the ass. I went face first into the muck. He spent the next 5 minutes chewing me out for gold breaking.
I think I'm going to be doing a highball.
Don't tell me you had
I'm doing, or I'm enjoying a Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey lemonade in can form. Good stuff. Good. I think I might end up making a highball. I like to mix my drinks.
Yeah. Gunny Ellison's still reaming out recruits down there. Kicking ass and using words like inveigle and pusillanimous.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
I don't think kissing Turians will be necessary.
You never know, Commander.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I'd buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least, I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
That's between you and her.
Scuttlebutt says otherwise. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, sir.
Alright. Now, Rex.
So, we've got Saren on the run.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would have if I thought it was important.
I think I'd like to hear about it just the same.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging.
Finishing
about
up
a
talking
job
to these guys.
out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well, and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. So I checked it out.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once. We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you.
Alright.
But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up
I'm
dead
gonna
within a
talk
week.
to Tali, and I think that's gonna be the end of it.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Because it is 9 o'clock. I'm gonna be cutting it here soon.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have until it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them.
I want to talk about something.
Like what?
I should go.
Alright. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. It's 9 o'clock, so thank you for stopping by. It's great, everybody that came in. It was nice seeing you guys. And I will see you next time on Super Nintendo 64. Have a good weekend. Future Ozzy, quiet. Alright, guys, I'll catch you later, okay?